We ended our last lecture with characteristics associated with mild intellectual disability. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the characteristics associated with moderate intellectual disability. The IQ scores corresponding to moderate intellectual disability are 40 to 55 approximately. This table, which you can see in your visual, tells you about the various areas of functioning which are affected for people with intellectual disability. This table attempts to comprehensively present the characteristics associated with moderate intellectual disability. Let us look at each of these areas of functioning and in what ways these areas of functioning are affected in people with moderate intellectual disability. We have already understood what is meant by self-help skills in our last lecture, so we will not elaborate upon that. Let us straight away go to how self-help skills are affected in people with moderate intellectual disability. So if you look at the first bullet point, it reads about 10% of the total number of people suffering from intellectual disability are diagnosed with moderate intellectual disability. So the entire number of people suffering from intellectual disability, 10% of that number, that total number of people, belong to the moderate intellectual disability. So out of 100%, only 10% belong to moderate intellectual disability, whereas 85% of the people belong to the mild intellectual disability, which we understood in the last lesson. So out of 100, 85% belong to mild intellectual disability, 10% belong to moderate intellectual disability, and the remaining 5% belong to severe or profound intellectual disability. As per the second bullet point, people with moderate intellectual disability need support and training in self-help skills. So for people with moderate intellectual disability, self-help skills such as feeding oneself independently, using cutlery, independently dressing up, using the toilet, grooming oneself, keeping care of one's personal hygiene, and carrying out day-to-day life chores needs sufficient training. They need to be trained in life skills, self-help skills, and they suffer from poor motor coordination, which makes it difficult for them to learn basic self-help skills such as eating, grooming, taking care of one's toilet needs, etc. The fourth bullet point reads, after considerable training from the caregivers, people with moderate intellectual disability are able to develop adequate self-help skills and carry out their day-to-day life chores only sufficiently well. So people with moderate intellectual disability are able to learn self-help skills only after considerable amount of training, and they once they are trained in life skills, self-help skills, they are able to carry on their day-to-day life chores only sufficiently well, only adequately well, not as any other normal person does. So the fifth bullet point tells us that they often need consistent supervision in their day-to-day activities. So these people, even though they are able to learn self-help skills, even then they need considerable support and supervision by others to be able to carry out their life, day-to-day life smoothly and efficiently. Leaving the explanation for what is meant by speech and communication, as we have discussed this in the previous lecture, let us go to the second bullet point, which reads, people with moderate intellectual disability have adequate receptive and expressive language. They can fairly understand language and also use it for expression or communication. So they have enough of capability for receptive and expressive language, and they can use language for communication. However, as the second bullet point reads, they develop language skills later than the normal age. Language development for people with moderate intellectual disability is often delayed as compared to the normal course of language development. The third bullet point tells us that speech problems such as producing consonant sounds may be present in people suffering from moderate intellectual disability. So even though people with moderate intellectual disability have sufficient reception and expression of language, still they find it difficult when it comes to speech. So their speech is often full of errors, and needs a lot of training or speech therapy for not being able to produce speech sounds such as consonant sounds. According to the second bullet point, people with moderate intellectual disability have very limited capacity for academic skills. They have problems going beyond first grade of school. This is because people with moderate intellectual disability suffer from various deficits related to academic skills, such as reading, writing, reasoning, and carrying out certain mathematical calculations. So, these are the areas which are involved when it comes to academic learning. Since people with moderate intellectual disability suffer from deficits in all these areas related to academic skills, it is difficult to educate them beyond first grade. People with moderate intellectual disability are usually able to form friendships with peers. They can also participate in social situations and can be trained to behave in socially appropriate ways. They can also handle themselves independently, going about places which are familiar to them. People with moderate intellectual disability are able to acquire vocational skills upon training. The amount of training required to train a person with moderate intellectual disability in vocational skills is considerably more than the effort and time required to train a person with mild intellectual disability. Once people with moderate intellectual disability have acquired sufficient vocational skills, they can practice these skills only in sheltered work environment where they are provided with a non-competitive and supportive work environment. Sheltered work environment refers to a work environment where people with intellectual disability can easily work in a non-competitive and supportive work environment. So the environment in a sheltered work is such that people with disability do not find difficulties in adjusting to the expectations and the work culture of the setting. One of the examples of a sheltered work environment is the I Can Fly Cafe at Kolkata, which is run by children with mental disability, intellectual disability. And this is an example of a sheltered work environment which is specially designed for people suffering from intellectual disabilities, where they can work without any constraints on performance. The culture is very non-competitive with a facilitative work environment. As the last bullet point goes, the cognitive limitations because of intellectual disability makes vocational training an even better option to promote self-sustenance and economic independence among people with mild intellectual disability. So because of their academic skills deficit, because of the deficits in their academic skills, the people with moderate intellectual disability benefit more from vocational training rather than academic learning to become self-sustaining and independent. Because of the intellectual deficits, people with moderate intellectual disability find it really difficult to carry out the roles and responsibilities associated with marriage. Hence, marriage with its roles and responsibilities and having children is a difficult option for people suffering with moderate intellectual disability. So, in this lecture, we have learned how the major areas of functioning are affected in people with moderate intellectual disability. In our next lesson, we are going to take up characteristics or the areas of functioning and how these are affected in people with severe and profound intellectual disability.